Welcome guys, this is the Asian Pitbull and this is my WWE Raw review for June 10th, 2019. What a shit show, man. A lot of segments, it seems like a lot of things happened, but then again nothing much really happened in terms of storyline. So we are coming from the Jeddah show, okay, just the following Raw after the Jeddah show. And the show, we're gonna talk about the opening segment now. So the show started with Seth Rollins coming out with a steel chair, and we all know what happened in Saudi Arabia. Okay, he beat the hell out of Lesnar with the steel chair, and Lesnar has not cashed in yet. So he talks about just a typical Seth Rollins babyface promo. Then Corbin comes out and says that there should be a special referee for Seth's match later on with Kevin Owens. So I cannot buy into Baron Corbin. I call him Baron Borbin, okay? I don't even know why he's stuck in a storyline, and this is really my main overarching issue with the entire Monday Night Raw now. The product is just so shitty. There is no bona fide megastar. There is no bona fide top guy, with the exception of Seth Rollins, who has pretty much been here for quite some time already. He's that legit main eventer, but other than that, the entire roster is just weak, man. So I can't really blame Seth because there's no credible opponent for him, and apparently they're just trying to experiment with Corbin, and well, it's working with Vince, it seems, because Vince seems to think that he's over and he's interesting gimmick. So your product is just continue to suck if you continue to have these kind of boring characters on screen. So Baron suggests a referee. Seth says, who's gonna help you? You have no friends. Anyway, Zayn comes out, and dude really looks like a street beggar. Okay, he looks even worse than his previous run. Don't get me wrong, he has all the ability in the world, but just the look, man. I don't have a fetish for body, no, but at least you must look credible. And then KO comes out, says that his buddies with Zayn, he has Sami Zayn's back. Anyway, just a very boring segment. And there's one thing I don't like again with Seth Rollins, his entire babyface run. Seth said, "You guys are melting my brain." Gosh, what a line, melting my brain. This is obviously those scripted writer's line that Jon Moxley was talking about. If you haven't seen my Jon Moxley death matches video, go and watch it. It's we are revisiting the top most violent and brutal Jon Moxley matches, just to give you an idea of the real Jon Moxley before he was in WWE as Dean Ambrose. So next, I'm gonna switch over to my phone now for the next segment, which is Lars Sullivan. So while I was hearing a lot of Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez over a podcast, was basically shitting on the entire Lars Sullivan Lucha House Party angle, and I think it's pretty funny how they are breaking it down. I don't like this at all because I still feel that Lars should have a more credible feud. But anyway, Lars comes out with the jobber entrance with the commercial break. Lucha, this doesn't make sense at all. Lucha should be the one with the commercial break entrance, and Lars coming up after Lucha House Party. But I don't know what kind of booking psychology behind this. Anyway, Lars attacks immediately, which is good. This shows storyline continuation. He's pissed as hell, and this is an elimination match. So the quick pin to Kalisto. After that, next victim is Lindsay, and quick powerbomb and pin. And then the last guy is Grand Metalik, and he catches him in mid-air and goes for the slam, pins and teasers. He pulls him out after second count, doesn't want the match to end first, then goes on outside to destroy Kalisto, and then Lindsay again before doing a top rope headbutt to Grand Metalik. Again, this is a stupid move to me. You have a 300-pound monster doing a top rope headbutt. First of all, WWE, you banned the top rope headbutt years ago because of concussion issues and all that. You stopped Daniel Bryan from doing it, and the previous person who made this famous, Chris Benoit, with all that controversy, and now you're bringing it back and you're letting this 300-pound guy do it. There's no psychology behind this. Big monster should not be doing all these flying moves, especially as their finisher. So doesn't make sense to me at all. His main finisher, this is what you're looking at. I don't know what it's called. I think they mentioned it before, but I forgot. It doesn't look anything spectacular as well. I prefer the running power slam. So next, then you have this 24/7 backstage title segment. And my main beef with this is that why do they have to break this down into 3 or 4 parts during the show? They should, if you watch the entire Raw, they're scattering this 3-4 times over the entire show with just showing the CCTV footage with them on the ring, in the lift. This should just be one time and just, they're just trying to fill up time. I don't get this. 3 hours Raw is so they are running out of ideas. Anyway, you can see for yourself what happens. It's just another stupid backstage promo. Although I'll give it to them for the good visuals. They're at least trying to really make this 24/7 interesting. You have the airplane, pinning Jinder Mahal in the airplane, all the backstage running, hiding under the ring, and the lift and all that. So it's interesting in that standpoint where I can't wait to see like what other new ideas they have. Where else can they bring this? Later, Michael Cole actually mentions that Bray Wyatt has invited R-Truth to the Firefly Funhouse. So it will be interesting if we see Truth, and I won't be surprised accidentally stumble into the Funhouse. That would be funny. And who knows, Bray Wyatt may be 24/7 champion. Okay, so next we have now before this, there's just a short cut to we see the backstage, just a quick cut where we see Becky Lynch and her boyfriend Seth Rollins, and Michael Cole just say that we see Lynch with her boyfriend. This is so stupid. This is how they introduce a relationship. Previously I said that your audience who watches TV only, or don't really catch up on all these backstage dirt, they won't know that Seth and Becky are a thing. And you should just formally have a segment or build this up somehow, like that sexual tension, like The Rock and Trish Stratus or something like that, where definitively you showcase that they are a couple, officially a couple, and that's how you introduce. Michael Cole is stupid. Her boyfriend, maybe not you, Michael, but whoever wrote this is stupid or just lazy. Okay, so we have the Lacey Evans Becky Lynch interview, and this is a split screen interviews. I always like these. Harken back to Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I really like this kind of interviews. Lacey is really living the gimmick. She's doing A+ job on the lady gimmick. Excellent job on that. She says ladies go first, LOL, and Lacey looks really good, really really good. I like her, and she has pretty decent good mic skills as well. Like I said, she's living to the gimmick, and also good promo by Becky, and she feels more confident now, especially when she's talking in third person, the champ, the man. Okay, then there's one stupid line. There's so many obvious. Just go and listen properly. There are many obvious scripted writers line. There's one line that Lacey says, "I can smell the fear on you. I can smell the fear on you." This is not realistic. Nobody talks like that. So obviously it's another stupid Vince McMahon or writer line. But I'm thinking here, they're really pushing Lacey strongly. So will they really put the title on Lexi? I don't know. I'll be very surprised. To me, they better not, because she's not proven in the ring yet. She can't prove that she can go on a one-on-one match. Basically, she's being shoved down our throats. Although I like the gimmick, but I still prefer the traditional way where you work your way slowly up to the main title. But again, they don't do this nowadays. So we'll see. Next, we have another throwaway segment. Becky, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Cross, and she's back to being a face again. But I still feel that she's being manipulative. And there's one really funny line. There's really a lot of people are talking about this now online. That Alexa mispronounces a word. She says that who's that Bailey is not really the kid high fiving San Jose hometown hooker. It's actually hugger, but the way she says it sounded like hooker, and immediately the crowd reaction they go like, oh, and I misheard it the first time as well. You must watch this, see this if you haven't done so. And then anyway, this is just a manipulative Alexa. And after the segment, this is pretty funny. Renee also said that she heard hooker. She said that, Alexa called Bailey a hooker, and then Graves just said hugger, not hooker. And then Renee just went quiet with the realization that she heard the wrong thing. And don't worry, Renee, we heard hooker as well. So next, moving on, we have Miz TV segment. How long has Miz been doing Miz TV, man? Somebody go calculate that. Because it seems like pretty long already. Maybe 6 years? Anyway, or even longer than that. So this Samoa Joe comes out. They are saying like Samoa Joe is Godzilla of WWE. F you. He ain't no Godzilla. Okay, Godzilla is at least gonna be super tall. You can sell Great Khali or Big Show Godzilla, but Samoa Joe ain't Godzilla. He's more like, I don't know, he's just big, thick. Okay, and then we see that obviously the Godzilla line, Vince is trying to plug in the pop culture reference, but yeah, not effective. Miz with the botch. Miz with the botch line saying Coquina Clutch. He called it Cochina Clutch. Gosh, do you even watch the product? I don't blame you if you don't. WTF. And after all these years, Miz is still not natural on the mic. And Joe could have eaten him alive and pointed this out. But he doesn't. And then after that, a random Braun Strowman appeared. Random Braun Strowman interferes, although he looks in really good shape. And then random Bobby Lashley, and a random Ricochet, and a random Cesaro. And they're all focusing on US title, and Cesaro with a cheap shot, and chaos ensue inside the ring. So this leads to 6-man tag, and it's just for what it's worth, it's just a normal match. Ricochet with the pin, so it looks like Ricochet may be feuding with Samoa Joe, and I won't be surprised if he goes over, because he could really be a big baby face, mid-card baby face, talking about Ricochet. And you have Braun and The Miz going nowhere. So out of the 3 baby faces, Ricochet likely to capture US title, and then Braun and Miz just going nowhere. What a shame. Next, before this, there was the Baron Corbin backstage segment. Just another boring segment. We have the women's tag match, and I have to give it up to Lacey. She really proved to me that she's number one, a good athlete, very good athleticism. Her moveset is kind of similar to Charlotte the Queen, with those gymnastic movements. But anyway, I thought that was a good crowd reaction when Lacey and Lynch faced off about to confront. So it seems to be working. I guess people really want to see this, and give credit to Lacey as well for really living up to the character. And she also have a very good, I wrote here, good mean streak. We can see that's always important for a heel. So overall, it's pretty good showing by Lacey, but I still need to see her in a one-on-one match, a lengthy match. Okay, I need to see her. Well, we know that's never gonna happen, so forget it. And at one point, wow, I was impressed. She did the reverse moonsault where on the second turnbuckle, she jumps to the top turnbuckle, flips, and does the moonsault. So very, very athletic. And even after the match, she was still living the gimmick, taking out the handkerchief, wiping herself. Really, really good stuff. Really, really great gimmick nowadays. Right now. So next we move on to the Shane McMahon backstage segment. A random Shane McMahon from SmackDown appears. I guess you need authority figures every now and then. We see Sami Zayn trying to suck up. Just doing the typical Zayn stuff, and he proposes to be the referee for the special guest referee for the main event between Rollins and KO. And he said to start slow and just be the second referee, the outside referee first, just for a fresh pair of eyes. And basically McMahon just repeats what Zayn proposes, and Zayn says that he's a genius. And then LOL, just give the company to Shane already. He's done such a wonderful job, unexpectedly good job as a heel, and I really one of the few things that I enjoy Shane McMahon doing. Really, really good stuff. I guess with being the boss's son, you have liberty to say whatever, because his promos doesn't sound scripted at all. It's just Shane, but a bad guy Shane. Really like it. And also I like his little gimmick celebration later on, but come on, man, Shane gets 2 segments every freaking show. Wow. Okay, next. Before this, I was shocked and surprised, and I marked out a little bit for this. John Cena. It was announced John Cena joins the cast of Fast and Furious 9. It ain't once in a lifetime anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna see John Cena and The Rock go head on one-on-one, head first in a movie form this time. We still don't know what role he's gonna play. I'm not into the Fast and Furious franchise, so I don't know whether he'll be a good guy or team up with The Rock. But wow, I'm so excited, man, to see The Rock and John Cena possibly show up on TV screen. WWE is taking over the world. Excellent. Okay, next we have our Paul Heyman promo, and just another typical Heyman promo. The main point is that Heyman and Brock are not going to be telling Seth when they are cashing in, so they are still going with the purveyor of paranoia gimmick. And obviously Brock is not here, and then Heyman says one line that the next time Brock shows up or cashes in, he's gonna violate the PG era of WWE by giving a beating so violent to Seth. And I'm like, LOL, is WWE still in the PG era? I thought they moved into the reality era after CM Punk. So I think it's a bit out of touch, Paul, you with this line that the PG era. Okay, so next we have the backstage segment for the W24/7 title, but it's just another. Oh gosh, they shouldn't drag this out to so many segments. But I thought it's funny. A random R-Truth saying that it's the 48/7 European title. Okay, next please, let's move on. We have the Iconics. Gosh, I forgot about these girls, and I forgot about the women's tag team title. This is the worst booked storyline or gimmick in WWE right now. You just introduce this women's tag team, which championship, which is supposed to be monumental, and it just seems that after the beginning, after Sasha Banks and Bayley, after they drop to Iconics, it just becomes a forgotten thing again. This should be revolutionary, right? But they just, well, I don't know who's writing all this shit. So Iconics with the in-ring promo versus 2 jobbers, local jobbers. That's interesting. I don't think we really ever seen 2 lady hometown jobbers before. And crappy promo, crappy win, useless introduction of the tag team title, and really going nowhere after a few months. Now I believe we are in the third hour, or near the third hour. Anyway, 3 hours is too long, and I felt the lengthiness after I start doing all these reviews. So anyway, we have the gimmick in-ring celebration. You see all the ring, the entire ring gimmicked up, but I like the best in the world lying there on the ring, under the ring, and then balloons everywhere. So there were a bit of CM Punk chants. I don't know if I'm the only one who heard that, and it's strange because why is always hear this against Shane McMahon? Is there something I missed out that CM Punk mentioned something about Shane or what? Because whenever Shane comes up, there seems to be CM Punk chants. Anyway, another good heel promo by Shane, and as the promo went on longer, the crowd started chanting boring, and then oh yeah, I forgot about Mr. BORING-tyre. Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin are two most boring characters, and they are like upper mid cut and placed in the main event fields. Gosh, remove these two boring ass pieces of crap from my screen. Anyway, yeah, where was I? So the same old BORING-tyre insulting the crowd, just same old shit. And then Drew says that he's gonna hurt Roman, blah blah blah. We have the celebration with the champagne and all that, and it's funny that Shane is drinking out of the trophy cup. And anyway, the segment is too damn long. Revival comes out. They cannot drink yet because Shane only lets them. They are only invited to the party if they bring back Tag Team Gold, which leads us to the Raw Tag Team title match. And I entirely forgot that Ryder and Hawkins are still the tag team champions, and I entirely forgot about the tag team division. So anyway, this is a triple threat with the Revival against the Usos and the tag team champs. Anyway, the finish was when Dawson tagged the Uso while Uso was about to go for the finishing flying splash. Really good, smart tactic there. While Dash Wilder held the legs of the other Uso, and then Dawson stole the win. So new tag team champions, the Revival, 2-time tag team champions. So they get to celebrate. Good on you, kids. Next we have little Seth backstage interview before we move on, and also the 24/7 segment where the lift door finally opens. But anyway, Chaos Truth gets to escape again with the title, so we'll see what happens next week. We have Firefly Funhouse, and I going to check out my reaction to that. My immediate thoughts on this is, where is this leading up to? Because I say that as good as the promos are, the vignettes are, if this doesn't lead to anywhere, then there's no money in this. Okay, are you gonna do this forever, WWE, just backstage vignettes? Or is this actually gonna lead to a feud with somebody? Is it just gonna be a clown or an actual contender for championship? Anyway, it seems that there are no plans, and the stock was like that up. And I think after the review of The Fiend, it started going down, because it's like you review The Fiend after the excellent build up, then after that you just going back to this again, those random skits. I like this though. Within the world of Firefly Funhouse, there is progression. This time, who's that? Rambling Rabbit. I guess spoke too much. His fate was decided, and Bray smashed him to death with the hammer, and it was pretty graphic. With all the I don't even know how to say this, and the so-called the gimmick blood spewing up, and you see all that crap. Anyway, my thoughts on this is that if this doesn't lead to an in-ring match, then this is all for nothing, and this is just this gonna be thrown into the list of gimmicks that failed. because it has been 2 months already. WWE, in case you don't know, 2 months of backstage vignettes already. Come on, in ring. What are you doing with Bray Wyatt? Finally, we have the main event. Seth versus KO. This is so random. A random SmackDown person, a random SmackDown superstar on the main event of Raw. Don't they have anyone else? Anyway, Seth, who's that? Sami Zayn comes out in the stripes and he looks perfect in the referee shirt, and that's not a compliment. That just means that you just look like a commoner. Okay. Anyway, Renee calls him Zebra Seth. LOL. That's what he should be, a Zebra Seth. Not Seth. What am I talking about? Zebra Zayn. Okay, so Zayn. I like this. Here's the thing. They can still book. Do very good booking if they want to. They take note of these details that Zayn comes out checking full body inspection on Rollins. Even say you got a knife. I thought that was funny. So they can actually flesh out all these details if they want to. You see them doing this in the main event storyline, but for the other segments and storylines, they just don't bother. Yep. Anyway, this was funny. As he was about to finish checking, he just gives a little slap to Rollins' injured ribs. I thought that was a good little touch. And then he just does a quick check on KO and says he's good. Anyway, during the match, all sorts of distractions from Zayn for the dirty advantage. Anyway, Zayn comes in to check on Kevin Owens. Yeah, we all know that. So accidentally, Rollins was doing the spot where he went for suicide dive and accidentally hit Zayn because Zayn was checking on KO. And then Zayn became angry and says that Rollins should be disqualified. And anyway, Zayn is pissed at Rollins is pissed at Zayn now. And then Zayn calls for the bell, calls for disqualification, so the KO gets a win. Seth looks like he's really pushed to the edge, and I like the little body, the non-verbals here from Seth. He can't take it anymore. He hits Zayn and he unleashes on Zayn, and then Baron Corbin comes out. Obviously this is a setup. The steel chair. So Rollins with the equalizer with the steel chair counters and beats the hell out of Zayn, and the crowd is really going crazy as well. So this proven again, Rollins is over, but Rollins is the only guy that's over in the entire Raw. So he beats the hell out of Sami Zayn just like he did to Brock. I like the fire. This is the kind of fire that babyface should have. We should see Seth booked like this more often instead of his whiny, scripted, cheesy ass lines. Curb stomps to Zayn, and that finishes the main event segment. Whew, that was long and that was rough to sit through. I think the overall product now is really mediocre. I feel the wrong people are put on the wrong spot, and the writers just don't know how to book superstars properly. And this is really a long-term issue that harkens back to few years ago, because you have all these people like Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, even Drew McIntyre, but you never really build them up properly with the few years that you have, to the point that right now they just don't seem legit, or they are just boring, bland, and one-dimensional to me. The only person who's probably built the best is Kevin Owens, but he shouldn't be on Raw. I'm probably gonna talk about this if I really can't take this anymore in a separate video. But anyway, this is about Monday Night Raw tonight. So overall rating gets only a 4 out of 10 from me. Nothing special to in this Raw, and just very, very mediocre, and the highlights were, there weren't really any highlights except for I thought the best was Lacey Evans. Wow, how surprising! Lacey Evans was a standout for me. The entire Lacey Evans Becky Lynch interview and her in-ring work. So that's it for my review for Monday Night Raw, June 10th, 2019. Please check out my other videos. I do lists, I do reaction. Really liked how the Jon Moxley one turned out, and please check out my angry reaction to what's that Undertaker Goldberg recently. I'm sure you like it. So anyway, stay tuned for the next review, and I'll see you in the next video. Asian Pitbull signing out.